Okay, so we're back in Canvas. We've created our course. We've done the settings of the course. We have set up our course homepage, and now we're going to go ahead and create some content. Okay, and this is where I have some some opinions. I've been doing this for a while, so I'm going to spout a lot of opinions in this section. Okay, so modules. Basically, we are going to work only in modules. Okay, so what we have here is there are two places where content is held, okay, mainly. Well, I guess there's four places where content is held. So files, basically these are files. This is a way for you to upload stuff and to save stuff into Canvas. So this is a way for you to like upload images, PDFs, that type of thing. I'm going to encourage you never to use this, all right? So one thing is that with the free version, you only have 524 megabytes of storage, right? So you're going to quickly eat through that, okay? Don't upload videos. The odd image here and there, okay? Say if you want to put an image, an image into a lesson, and it's just, a few kilobytes or, a few megabytes, that's fine, okay? But once you get into storing other things like lots of PDFs or lots of images or videos especially, you have to have another strategy, okay? So just leave the files alone, okay? So don't upload a lot of files. The other thing that makes the course really big, okay? So the other thing that can happen if you start doing that is that, let's say your district gets rid of Canvas, they stop paying Instructure for Canvas, right? Which, as you know, happens all the time, right? So you jump into a system, 2 years later, your school district says, hey, by the way, we're not paying for this anymore, so you need to move all your stuff out of that system or lose it. So when that time comes, it's very easy to export a course in Canvas, but if you have uploaded, 524 megabytes of content, or if you're in your school district system, you could upload many gigabytes of content. Then moving it is going to be a nightmare. Okay, so I'm going to show you a strategy that I use to keep this Canvas course very small file size and stay very organized with your content. Okay, and that does not involve using the files area of Canvas. Okay, so just leave it alone. All right, pages are just not necessary. So pages, you can make everything you want to use. I don't know if pages are not necessary. Pages are just informational, displays of information that are not assignments, basically, okay? So just like you created that home page, it didn't have a due date, it didn't have a way for students to turn things in, that's a page, all right? Okay, an assignment is something where the students turn something in and it shows up in your grade book, okay? So that's an assignment. A quiz, that's an online assessment, right? We're not going to go into that right now, but basically that's an online assessment, okay? And then finally, a module, and assignments, where people really get confused is that you can think of assignments, the assignments area. This is like a bank of assignments, okay? So this is like an organization of assignments. You can think of this as a file cabinet full of worksheets, or a file cabinet full of workbooks, right? Okay, so assignments don't have dates attached to them. So this is a way to store things for students, and then yeah, that's what it is. It's a storage for assignments. So for that reason, I encourage you not to interact with your assignments in the assignments page. Rather, we're going to interact with them on the modules page. Okay, it's just a lot easier. Okay, next thing, so we had quizzes. Quizzes are assessments, right? Quizzes, if you click on quizzes, basically it's a pretty straightforward. I think they're pretty good. It is SCORM compliant, if you're aware of that, but basically, it's going to be used in making quizzes. It has some pretty good features. It doesn't have all the features, but it has some pretty basic features that are pretty good. Okay, so where we are going to interact with quizzes, assignments, files, pages, all of that is from the modules page. Okay, so basically, anytime we want to make something, we're going to just do it from the modules page. Okay, so don't worry about going anywhere else. With the exception of that is quizzes, where you kind of have to make them separately and then add them to the modules, but everything else can be done from the modules page. Okay, so this brings us to how to create stuff efficiently, right? So you have, you're creating a module. I would think of it as a unit. Okay, so if you have a 180-day school year, that's split into two. If we split that into six-week units, as most people do, you can think of each module as a unit. Okay, you could go shorter. You could think of each module as a week. But you need to come to some concept of what you think a module is, right? So a module is I think of it as a unit, right? So whatever a unit is to you, that's what a module is. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and create a module. So we're going to click plus, and we're going to name the unit. In this case, let's see, what did I name my unit? I named my unit Unit 1 Coding. Okay. All right, because this is Coding 101. Okay, so here's our unit. And then what we're going to do is that we are going to go ahead and create an assignment inside the unit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and create one assignment. Now, I would say in your unit, let's say that this unit is going to have 20 assignments in it, okay? It's really important to work efficiently. So as you're creating this assignment, you don't want to, I'm going to show you a pretty efficient way to do it. You be the judge, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to create one assignment, and we're going to reuse that structure for all the other assignments in that unit, okay? Now this might not work for everyone, but it has worked for me. I think if you're careful as you're doing you're creating your online content, that basically you can do this very efficiently. It also helps to have a common structure for students. If every assignment is different, they have to use different tools, having to figure out every assignment. That takes a lot of energy for students, especially online. So by having a common structure for each one of your lessons, it really helps students to work through your course. And what I mean by common structure is, don't have 20 ways for students to turn things in, right? Choose one way. Do they always download a PDF and upload it? Do they always post something to a portfolio and publish it and turn in the URL? Do they take a picture of their work? Are they working on paper? Do they take a picture and upload it to the assignment? Choose, 1, 2, 3 ways that they turn things in, and just always make your assignments the same way of turning things in. You can be very creative with your assignments, but make it easy on students and make it common, make them be able to have a common way to turn things in. Okay, so that said, let's go ahead and make our assignment. So we've made our module, and now we're going to click the plus. Now we have some options here. Okay, so we can make an assignment, quiz, file, page, discussion, text header, external URL, external tool. Okay, let's say you want to post a link to a video. Okay, just a link. Okay, it has nothing else. It's just literally a link. Use external URL. I would stay away from it. It's very clunky. When students click it, they go to a secondary page that they don't understand and then have to click a second URL. My opinion, just make an assignment or maybe a page that has the link on it. And that way you can give some instruction as well. A file, that's if you want to just link directly to a file. I would not do that either. Because it's confusing. When students click on it, there's a secondary page they have to click on. I would stick to only assignments and quizzes here. Okay, if you go in any information you want to give, just give it with the assignment or link it from the assignment. Okay, so assignments and quizzes, that's basically it. Occasionally I'll do an external URL. Say I want to post like a reading that goes along with all of the assignments in a module. I might link that as an external URL at the top of the module. Okay, but generally I'm sticking with just assignments or quizzes. Okay. If you don't give online tests, just assignments. That's it. So keep it simple. That's my advice, is keep it simple. Okay, so we have our assignment name. All right. Now this gets down to how are we organizing, right? Okay. So if we're not storing a lot of content in Canvas, right, we're not uploading files, we're not uploading videos, where is that content? Okay, well, where the content is in Google Drive. Okay, so let's take a look at Google Drive. I have it open in a tab up here. Okay, so notice that I have my tab right here. Okay, and I have my course, so I have school. I've got my course, a folder with my course in it, right? Then I'm gonna make folders with each unit, okay? Now this unit, so for like unit 2, right? Unit 2, we have a book, Fee as in freedom. Let me rename that. It is a classic computer book by Richard Stallman right here. So it's a PDF, it's free. So, or it was posted for free. I'm gonna take that back. Check on Amazon to see if it is free. I'll double check too. I found it on his website, so I'm pretty sure it's okay for me to have on there. Okay, so then we have Coding 101, that's the name of the course. We have a folder for each module, basically. Okay, so you're splitting it up into units. If your course has 10 units, you'd have a folder for each unit, right? Okay, inside that folder, basically these are every document you need for the unit. Okay, in my case, what I do is I make instructions in the Google documents themselves. Okay, so this is an example right here. Okay, so I have the name of the document, an introduction. Okay, then I basically put a lot of my instructions inside of the Google document. The students open the Google document, they save it to their drive, right? They go File, save a copy to their drive, and then they edit the Google document on their drive. Okay, so notice that here at the bottom of this assignment, this is a little bit different of assignment. So most assignments, basically I'll have a Google Doc. The student will go File, make a copy, okay, or save a copy to my drive. They'll then edit the Google document, and when it's time to turn it in, they'll go File, download, and they'll download it as a PDF. Okay, so that's generally how I do it. So basically I'll have a Google Doc, I'll have some instructions in the Google Doc, and then basically when they're done, they'll put, if they have to take photos, if they have to take anything but a video, basically they'll put everything in the Google Doc. At the end, they'll go File, download PDF. That saves it to PDF, and then they'll turn that PDF back into Canvas. Okay, that might be overkill, to be honest with you. Maybe it's not the way to do it. All right, but it might be easier just to turn things directly into Canvas and not worry about Google Drive. But organizing things for you as the teacher, organizing things in Google Drive is definitely the way to go. Okay, so that way you have your content somewhere else. It stays there. You don't have to worry about it. You can store all kinds of documents, and you can easily organize them. Okay, so what I have here, let's say that I've done that, right? I've gone out and I've gotten content somewhere. Okay, these could be a collection of PDFs. In this case, they're Word documents, but these are a collection of PDFs. I've named them something that makes sense, right? I have Unit 1, then I have 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, right? I've named them something that makes sense. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this first assignment, okay? And I'm going to create the first assignment. I'm going to call it something repetitive, okay? So in this case, I'm going to name it, I'm just going to click rename here. I'm going to click OK, and I'm just going to name it the same thing as my Google document, okay? And I'm going to click Add Item. Okay, so here I have my first assignment, all right? Okay, so let's go ahead and edit that assignment. I'm going to click on it. Okay, and notice once we get in, now there's something here. Let's go back for a second. So we have the name of this assignment, right? If I click on this menu right here and click edit, I'm actually only editing the name of it, interestingly enough. So if I click, I can change the name of it right here, right? Okay, which we're going to use in just a minute. I can also duplicate it. I can also move it and that type of thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and edit our first assignment here. Okay, and this is going to be our template for all of the assignments in this unit. Okay, so I click on it, I click edit. Okay, and I have instructions that I actually copied over. I'm going to copy over. Okay, so I have okay, so I have a particular way that I do all assignments. Okay, so it has 3 sections: introduction, instructions, what to turn in for your grade. Okay, so by keeping whatever your structure is, keep it the same for every assignment. Students have to read all of this stuff. it can get very confusing as to what they're supposed to do. If you just by having these headings, it makes it very straightforward. Okay, your instructions should be step by step, and they should link to anything the students need. Okay, and then basically as you get questions, edit the assignment, and as you get questions, edit the assignment, and you can basically facilitate learning for other students by editing the assignment to answer questions as you get them. Okay, so here we have it. So basically we have, so we have some type of introduction for the unit that will stay the same for all the assignments. We have instructions that basically for me is open the following assignment, read the following, and read the instructions in the assignment, right? And then what to turn in for your grade. I have some instructions here. Usually this is save Google Doc to your Google Drive. With file, save a copy. Okay. Okay, so then we're going to, and then we say complete the Google Doc, right? They're reading the instructions. And then basically we'll say, save completed Google Doc as a PDF. With file, and it says download in the, okay, download complete doc as a PDF, file, download, okay. Save the, upload your PDF below. Okay, so that's a good set of instructions right there. You could do more. I've even gone as far as making a screen video of me doing these things, like anything that has to get done in here, and posting it. So, but I think you get the point. Okay, so we have introduction, instructions, and what to turn in for your grade. This works really well for me. I used to do all kinds of different structures for assignments, and it's just confusing for the kids. So if you can keep it really consistent, it's very helpful. Okay, so we have basically our thing here, but we want to make a lot of assignments at one time. So it doesn't work for us. If you end up trying to type in every single assignment that you're going to give, if you have one class a day, you're teaching the same section one class every day, maybe you can do that. I teach 3 classes a day, so it becomes a real issue with creating online content, grading, all of that. So what we're going to do is that we're actually going to, because we already have this stuff in Google Drive, we're actually going to copy the names over. Okay, so we're going to copy this one by one. Okay, just by clicking rename. It's better to click rename because you just get the text. Okay, notice my use of bullet points here as well. Bullet points are very readable online. And it also forces you to think in discrete steps for the students. So by using bullet points are really, really useful. Okay, so rather than giving big blocks of text instructions, give some instructions. The introduction can be a lot of text. By the way, this used to have an image in here. It would look better with an image that you can add later. Okay, so then we have all of our assignments. Okay, so notice that this assignment is just part 1, right? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create similar instructions for all the assignments in the unit, identical instructions for all the assignments in the unit. I'm going to make sure that they match with the assignments, right? And so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to share these on Google Drive, right? You can just share the entire folder. So you can click on the folder up at the top, you can click share, get shareable link, right? And that automatically shares it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to right click on each one, get shareable link. Okay, we're going to copy it. And then we're basically going to go back to Google Drive. we're going to click the link. Notice that this is the link icon right here. We're going to insert a link. Okay, we're going to do that for each one. And just click copy link. Okay, we're going to keep inserting these links. I think it's just copying it. The clipboard isn't okay. All right, so there we have it. So basically, what I've done is I've created one assignment. It has common introduction and instructions for each. Say that as a unit on fractions, you'd have one introduction, and then the students are going to complete 10 different assignments on fractions, right? Each assignment would be in Google Drive. If that is a worksheet, a scanned worksheet on PDF, if it's a something that you've created with instructions, whatever that is, it lives right here on Google Drive, right? Okay, we create a list of them just like this. Okay, we have a common set of instructions on each one is turned in the same way, right? It's taken a photo or it's whatever that is, right? For me, it's they complete the Google Doc. Even if it's a complex assignment, even if it's a week-long project, they take photos of the project, they do all of this stuff that eventually gets put into a Google Doc, they download that as a PDF, and then they turn it in, okay? It has to be like that because when you grade online, things have to be consistent for you to view. If you're grading, 150 assignments, or 200 or 300 assignments, you don't have time to go out and log in and go to some different system, right? So you need stuff to be turned in a manner that you can grade quickly. Okay, so we've made our kind of template assignment for the unit, right? We have all links to all of the assignments in a list for the unit, right? Now we're going to go ahead and make sure that they're in the right assignment group. Okay, we're going to do points, however you do your points. I do 20 points a day. So each one of these is a one-day assignment, so it's 20 points each. And then basically we're going to go ahead and make a new group. Okay, this group is going to match our unit. Okay, so we're going to add group, and that's just going to be the same as our unit. Displaying points, that's fine. You can experiment with this. No submission, you need to change that to online. Okay, so if it's going to be a upload of files, you can do file uploads. I would restrict the file types, but if you're not comfortable with that, that's fine. If you don't restrict the file types, students will start to upload all kinds of different stuff. You'll say upload a PDF, you'll get photos and Word documents and all this type of stuff. It might be okay, it might not. Okay, so if you want to restrict the file type, for example, to PDF, we would put PDF, right? Or sorry, there's no dot. So you want PDFs only. If you want docs only, remember that doc and docx are not going to be the same thing here. That's why you should be careful. Okay, so I'm just going to uncheck it for now. If you're doing something like a web portfolio, which I use a lot, you do a website URL. Okay. In this case, you might get students sharing you Word documents or sharing you Google Docs, which would require you to go off the grading site. Okay, by doing file uploads with PDFs, you're ensured that there's a file that you can view online. Also, the file limitations. You remember in the course how you can only upload 584 megabytes, I think it was. Well, the student uploads don't count towards that limit, so it's fine for them to be uploading stuff. Group assignment, don't worry about. Anonymous grading, don't worry about. Assign to everyone and then do. Remember that in my case, I don't use this. I think it creates a confusing situation. Also, you want to be able to use their content after, year to year. So, Yeah, so available from until you can make, if you want the assignment to only be available to students for a certain date range, you can do that. If you want to set a due date, you can also do that, okay? Due dates, it might make it less confusing for students to use the due date here. I like to just put it on the home screen just because it's a lot easier for me to adjust things. If everything gets pushed back one day, if you have best laid plans of mice and men, right? So if you have a due date, and then everything gets pushed back one day, you have to go into every single assignment and change that. If you just have it on the front page, you can easily change all of those due dates very quickly. So I don't use this dates. I don't use the assign to dates, but you might. Okay, so mainly the important things here are that you put in points or no points, as the case may be, and that you definitely put in this assignment group. Okay, so do not forget to put in the assignment group, and then you also have to put in what's going to be uploaded. All right, then we're going to go ahead and click save. Okay, so we have our assignment algorithms part 1. Okay, and notice that it's basically a template assignment for all the other assignments that are going to be in the module. Okay, so we're going to go back to modules now. All right, and we can see that if we go to assignments, remember I said we're not going to do assignments, notice that we've created assignments, okay? And that in the assignments area, a group of assignment, right, an assignment group they call it, has been also created based upon the module, all right? Which creates a confusing situation for people, all right? So it is nice that you can have, it is beneficial to you because, if you only could put on modules and those modules, it's useful in some cases, but we're not going to use it, all right? So, okay, so we have our module, right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, we have the assignment ready to duplicate, so we're going to go ahead and duplicate this assignment. Remember that we have 4 different assignments, right? Okay, and then you're going to see so this is how I do it, find your own method. So basically at this point, what I would do is I would open up each of these in a separate tab. Okay, I guess that's not necessary. Basically now we're just going to go edit it. So we'll click it. I would just open up each in a separate tab. Actually, let's do that. I'm just going to show you exactly how I do it. Okay, so we're going to hold down Control and we're going to click each one to open it up in a separate tab. Okay. And this is good to have them all open because the fact that it keeps it organized. You can open 20 tabs, right? And in that way, you can keep everything organized. We're going to click Edit in each of those tabs. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to change the name and delete some of the content, right? So this is going to be the part 2, right? Part 2. We're going to copy the name and paste it up top. Okay, we're going to delete it. And we're going to go down and click Save. Okay, next one, we already did part 2, so now we're on to 1.3. We're going to copy the name of it, paste it up top in the assignment name, delete all the other ones, and click Save. Our final assignment, we're going to do 1.4 here, paste, delete the rest, and save. Okay, and then our final one, which I forgot to click on. Okay, remember our name doesn't change because this was our original one. We're just going to delete the rest of the assignments in here. And save. Okay, so then we go ahead and just close all those tabs, and now we're going to reload. Okay, so what we have here are modules. Okay, so we have our modules, right? And we can go ahead and publish all of them at one time. So in order for the student to be able to see these lessons, 2 things have to happen. Both if the module is unpublished, right? So I just clicked on this publish button right here, right? It's also available here, or no, it's not. So it's just the publish button right here. In this case, the student wouldn't see anything, right? Because the module has to be published and the lesson has to be published, okay? So an interesting thing happens though when you publish a module, all of the assignments publish at the same time. So you have to click publish on the module, and then you have to unpublish each of the lessons that you don't want the student to see. Okay, so that is a way to efficiently create modules inside of Canvas and assign them to students. Okay, so at this point, if the student came in, so let's go back to our home page here, and let's go to student view. Okay, so at this point, the student would come in. This is exactly what the course would look like, right? And if we went to modules, we'd see just the module that was published, and we would see just the lesson that is published. The student then clicks on it. They see the assignment. Okay, they would go ahead and complete the assignment. When they're done, when they've say completed the Google Doc, or they've done the assignment, maybe they've taken a photo of it, they would then click submit assignment. There's an odd thing on here though when students submit assignments. So here's a question that comes up all the time, is that when they choose a file, let's say that they upload a file. So let's say they're going to upload this file right here, okay? They can upload as many files as they want at one time, all right? So let's say they submit this assignment, okay, or this, a file to the assignment. Okay, so that's been submitted. This PNG has been assigned. If they resubmit, let's say they forgot to upload something. They go, oh, I need to upload one more thing, right? Okay, well, if they upload one more thing and they submit assignment, it will basically bump it out, right? So each submission bumps out, each new submission bumps out the old submission. So if they want to upload 2 files, they need to go ahead and upload them at the same time. So they would open that, they do add another file, choose it. And they would click submit assignment. Okay, so that's how they would do upload 2 things at once. Okay, so that is that is how to create a module and to efficiently create assignments within the module. So we're going to go ahead and leave the student view here. Then basically what I would do is that in order to assign this to students, I would have published it. I would copy this page here. I'd go to my home page, right? I would edit it. Then basically I would give an assignment due date, and I would paste in the link to the assignment like this, okay, and then save. And that way when the student comes in, they can quickly see, they come into the course, they quickly see what's due and what assignment, they can click directly to the assignment, right? And basically that's just an easy way for the student to progress through the course. Okay, best of luck.